Thousands of troops and outside police officers have been deployed to the U.S. city of Baltimore, following violent protests linked to the death of a black man fatally injured in police custody. A week-long curfew has been announced and schools and many businesses are closed. On Monday, hundreds of people set fires, looted stores, and confronted police across the city. City officials have been criticized for not responding more aggressively. Volunteers and city workers began cleaning up affected areas on Tuesday morning as buildings still smoked from fires from the night before. African American Freddie Gray, 25, died on April 19 after suffering injuries to his spinal cord and spending a week in a coma. The Justice Department is investigating exactly where and when his spinal injuries were sustained. Officials have suspended 6 police officers who were involved in the case. Monday's clashes began hours after Gray's funeral. Baltimore Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake said it was very clear there was a difference between the peaceful protests of those who seek justice and the thugs who want to incite violence. Authorities were deploying every resource possible to regain control of the situation, she said. Later, following violence, looting and fires in various spots across the city of more than 620,000 people, she said, "This destruction we've seen this evening is heartbreaking." Ms. Rawlings Blake has ordered a week-long curfew from 2200 hours to 5 o'clock local time, 2 o'clock GMT to 9 o'clock GMT, starting on Tuesday. Public schools are to be closed on Tuesday. National Guard Commander Linda Singh said that up to 5,000 troops could be put on the streets. "We will be out in massive force," she said, adding that armored vehicles would be used, but the city would not be under martial law. Extra police officers are also being drafted in from the Mid-Atlantic region. Earlier, President Barack Obama said his administration would provide whatever assistance was needed. Maryland Governor Larry Hogan issued an executive order to protect the lives and property of citizens being impacted by this public emergency. He said calling in the National Guard was a last resort and that he had not made this decision lightly. Capt. Eric Kowalczyk of Baltimore Police said the 15 officers were wounded by thrown objects including bricks and bottles. 2 remain in hospital. Police made at least 27 arrests on Monday. A fire broke out at a newly constructed community building near a church in the east of the city on Monday night. Kevin Harris, a spokesman for the mayor, said the fire was at the Mary Harvin Transformation Center, described online as a community-based organization that supports young people and families. Freddie Gray's death is the latest in a string of high-profile cases where black men have died after contact with the police. Nationwide protests followed the killing of unarmed black teenager Michael Brown by a white police officer in Ferguson, Missouri, last year. The violence is an escalation of earlier protests. There were 34 arrests as peaceful demonstrations by about 1,200 people outside Baltimore's City Hall on Saturday afternoon got out of control.